Hello, hello, my queen. I'm so excited because today, hello, my queen. I'm so excited because today it's story time, scary story time. So the subject is when I have overprocess and an influencer. So slash the shit got in the fan. And I'm gonna share that story because it is so important to talk about those things, the flip side of running a business, that when it doesn't go as you think and it doesn't goes well, and how I've been managing it and the learning of it and the sharing of the guilt because I'm not the only one that kind of thing happened, and I want to share this today. So I'm here. My name is Marjorie Langes. I'm known as Marjorie from Novoqueen Pro, which is my lash lift brand. So I've been in the lash industry for 10 years. And I started my brand 5 years ago. So some of my queens here are there, the one that I know. I'm so excited to see you. And I have also people that doesn't know me. It's totally fine. So welcome to the Nova Queen world. And I'm just starting to like show myself, show Nova Queen to the English world. So I'm really known in the French industry. And I'm also known for Marjorie Queen Mentor, which is more my mentoring side because I love lessons. I love to think. I love to share it. I love to exchange. So please exchange, please comments. First of all, I want to know where are you guys from internationally because this is an international group. So what is nice is that we can see other perspective from other area, and I've been talking to a lot of lash techs around the world, and I love how it's different, how the perspective of it and the vision. So please share me where you're from, which country, which city. Yay. So okay, lash what I like, what we're known for Nova Queen is how vegan ecological we are, and we just reached the 2nd million in sales. So I'm really happy, I'm really proud. It started from the basement of my parents. So I'm starting the story, and I started for the basement, uh, not really knowing I was going to do lashes. It was just to round up my month, and I was still at university in business technology and while doing lashes, and I started growing. I started growing organically. I couldn't share where I was on social media because I was in my parents' home. So I started like really growing, learning from the bottom, completely bottom. And I start to get known, and then other professional, other lash lift techs start to ask me, can you show me how you're doing it? Because I was helping other techs, lash lift tech to do it, and they were like in messages, but it was like not enough. So they was like, can I just come and you show me? And then I was like, sure, I can train you. And so I was starting to get known as a trainer. I was about to launch Novoqueen, so I know it was 5 years ago. And at the time, the lash lift world was completely different. First of all, around that time, a little bit before, lash lift training didn't even exist. You had a paper with instructions. So, 5 years ago, I trained with an online training, which was already great because at that time there was not much, a little bit of group training, online training, or a piece of paper. So I decided with the online training went well. But at that time, the like chemical burn, over processing was not really known. Um, they just said to you to not go over the time. What happened is that the first clients I've done lash lift, and I was charging like the big buck at that time. I think it was 90. 5 years ago for lash lift, it was 90, but I was pump pump and I was let's go. And I couldn't get a lift. It didn't work. So that was kind of me. Maybe it's not for me because I was already super popular in lash extension and microblading. I was already like kind of full book. And the only reason I started lash lift was because of a chemical burn. So that was interesting. So at first I didn't want to learn lash lift at all. That's really funny. It's a client of mine who asked for it from me, and I was like, I'm not gonna make you learn that. And then she went and got burned, like really bad. So that got me curious into lash lift. And thanks freaking God that happened in a way because I would be here today making a live with you, my queens. So I was getting popular. It didn't work out at first, but I pushed through and I developed my own like product because my product are the reason of the result I have. So the people were asking me for training then for the product, so it didn't make sense to always um, buy this there, buy this there, buy this there. It was not like one thing fit all for me. So I was starting to get known. That's really to say that I already had a reputation. I was on social media at that time. I was really putting forward. And she was one of my first influencer because it's hard. It can be hard to get them. It's a lot of work to get those known people in your salon, how you much interact. And it's not just a DM and then it work. And you probably, some of you probably already know that some have gave up. Sometimes it work, they come in, but how they show it doesn't like work and everything. But oh my god, for sure that's gonna be a subject. Influencer. That's gonna be a nice subject for next time. So I got one. Super excited. And she loved it. She loved the lash lift so much. She was addicted like we all are, right? So she always wanted to come back and everything, and I was so excited because she was working. Her influence was strong. People, she was getting me, my employees, full booked. Like we were popping from everywhere from Lash Lift. That was so amazing. And she has those beautiful eyes. So she was really the perfect fit. And even her personality, she's really amazing and everything. So it's working. And one time she contacted me. She contacted me and texted me, and she's like, "Hey, it's red. It's kind of going in my eyelid." So I look over it and I'm like, "Oh, okay, it's going in our eyelid." And we lead ourselves in those kind of issues. So I was like, "What can I do for lash lift?" And this is where I've made my first biggest mistake in that situation, which I don't want you to do, because a lot of I've been asking around this group as well. I've done a poll, and not a lot of lash lift tech have had that issue. And I understand this is perfect, this is what you want and everything. That, yeah, we pray for that. We want to keep it that way. But if that happened, you need to kind of know what to do. And I'm gonna give you some tips here. And the first one I thought is that okay, it's going in her eyelid, right? So we need to like reduce the curl. So I was like, don't worry, come back. I'll make it with a larger silicone, a larger shield, so the curls goes down, right? So that happened. She came back, and after the result was perfect, amazing, she leaves for a travel, paid travel influencer, like making content and everything. And then she contacted me again, and that thing was her lashes was split, like not split but like flip the crazy hell in her eyelid, like crazy. And then this is where I shit in my pants. I was like, what the hell is that? Because at that time, 5 years ago, people didn't really talk about the risks and what to do if this is not what you want, of course. But we need to talk about it. And I think I got known, especially in the French world, a little bit for that, for really saying raw, real things, and especially the dark, the because it's easy on social media to just say, "Oh, it's everything is amazing, everything is amazing," but there's also absolutely thing going in the flip side, but we don't show it just to look good and everything. So that story became a power move for me because I was feeling so sad for I care so much for my clients. I was saying feeling so sad. And what do you do with a burn lash lift, with the over process, which is flipping in the eyes? At that time, the unlifting technique, like the unlift, which I have, was not known. It was not talked about. It was really you're on yourself to do that. So she got scared, and I really tried to show her my heart around that, but she did not come back, and it's been 5 years. And at that time, I was like, I'm gonna lose my reputation. I'm gonna lose everything. Oh my God, what happened? What I've done? I feel so bad. I was so ashamed. I was so guilty. I was a trainer at that time. We kind of have a pressure, and to not have those problems, but this is not reality. So this kind of thing happened. Um, to be honest, they can still happen today because I do test on myself all the time. So I rather burn myself. I do burn myself a few times, but I'm really testing the thing because it needs to be the true raw information. And how do you know the whole situation, the whole thing, if you don't know all the sides? So I do test on me a lot, for the product and everything. So that client, a lot of shame and everything, and that put me that situation where I was like, those are the situation that when it things goes down, it activate something in their brain like creativity, renaissance, like rebirth, like, okay, how can I fix this? I need to learn more. I need to try things out. And that was a pivotal moment of Novoqueen history without knowing it. And I was like, to be honest, I was like, how can I burn that one? Like, I could have anyone. So I was like, what the hell happened? Okay, chemical burn. How does it work? So actually, since it is making your lashes flexible, the perm, now I start to think about the chemics. So making it flexible, but well, when it's too much time, like what happened with the flexibility? It kind of melt. So it break down the bonds that doesn't have like reach to the other side of the hair. So this is like the hair, and from one side to the other, the bridges are like melted, and they cannot reconstruct, or they do, but they're so muddly that they break down in the next days. And what happened with her, now that I know more, is that she was so addicted. You remember I told you she was really addicted. She really loved it and she wanted the earlier possible. So I was doing her every 4 weeks, and then I started doing 3, and it happened. And she had long, long lashes. So I was doing a big proportion of her lashes. So I was not only doing it too often, but as well the the position of the lotion. I was doing a big part of the lashes. I was not doing more half than the lashes, but it was so long that by the time she come back, I was probably processing the same zone, which is probably kind of those lashes that really got first because they're the one over processed. So if you think in the lashes in the middle section, if that section is burned, what's going to happen with the tip? She's gonna like flip. It's just gonna like go down. So this is what happened with her. And to do it too often, and at that time, it was a bromat sodium formula in Canada. It got banned in 2012. No, not 20. Oh my God, 2019. Yeah, 2019. That's when I started. 2019. It got banned, but it was really strong. At that time, it was like 3 to 5 minutes. 3 to 5 minutes. That's really quick. 1 minute can make the whole difference. So that brought me into that thinking that, like, oh my God, this just happened to me. And I was growing with that influence. She was getting more known and known. So it was really a beautiful relationship and really amazing and really true and raw. I love her. Such a queen. So we were both growing. So when that happened, I was like, okay, my business is over. It's done. Sometimes we think like everything is so big when actually it's part of the process. So that part was for me, like I told you, I start thinking. And then I start making more research and more thinking like what are all those factors that can affect that. And this is where my unlift technique start to happen. So there's a really known technique on what to do, like to lower lashes, which is good. However, the only problem I have with that technique is that it does apply perm on the lash lift tip. It put perm where you don't want the lash lift tip, and it's already kind of not going well. So for me, I was like, there must be a way that you protect that and it going well. And this is where it come out the unlift technique, which show the two techniques, and also all the factors. So first I had like six a few years ago when I launched it. So I had six factors, which were all like the first I discovered by my texting, and I was talking about it on social media so much. So technician starting to say like, oh, okay, that can happen, and then other one start to have those things happening, those burning, but instead of hiding it because of guilt and shame, to not show your colleagues, to not show your clients, to not show the public that that thing happened, like you were kind of like closing yourself to you. So I started talking about it. So it became more normalized. So it became more known. And this is why I wanted this to be my first subject in this live, because I'm coming back next week, Tuesday, 10 a.m., Queen. Ooh, I'm coming back. So we started to talk about it and it became really a thing. And I think this is one of the no, there's a cancerogen reason for the bromat sodium to be um, banned in Canada and elsewhere in the world. But also they had like lashes burn because it was not talked about it and it needs to be talked about it. This is the main point of your lash lift training. And if it was not, it's okay because there's a million of lash lift training. They're all great. They all have different technique, way of saying, but you for sure must see a lash training that has really the health of the lashes around the way, around the thinking. Um, so we talk about me in more, and it was to a point that I was getting people driving 3 to 4 hours with over processed lashes so I can do the unlift on them and just to be sure, because this is such a SOS moment, like urgent moment, that it's kind of a now thing. So now, if it happens to your client, like you don't have the time to train yourself. Like you need to know already those stuff, not only to know what to do when it happened, but to know what to do before to prevent it. And this is where I've done a second version of the Unlift Masterclass, but this is not about, I mean, the masterclass is just to tell that even after years, I'm still learning about it. So this is why I've made a version that was 2.0, because the six factors become 13 and it was added with prevention mood. So you want to prevent most of it. And I know what I'm happy now in the world of the lash lift, which is moving so fast, but there's been that thinking. Like it didn't happen only to me, it happened probably to you or to one of your colleagues, but around the world, a lot of people had it. So this is why they've been like changing formula, developing, and it's been like added care because doing a lash lift is not something that is healthy for lashes. And I don't like when it's been said like, oh, it's healthy and everything. Whoa, we're doing a perm. Like we're still breaking bounds of a capillary lash and rebuilding it in a new shape. Like it's not what the hair wants to do. We're forcing it. So there's still of that irritating thing. But there's been a lot going on around, and something that is always hard around the research I do, it's to actually see the difference, actually seeing a difference in the health by doing that action. So this is what my research have been going, especially now again. So it's been 5 years and I'm still researching on it and learning. So this is the beauty of the lash lift, and this is why it's my only focus right now. It's because how it is moving and how it is growing and how I personally freaking love lash lift for me as a person to like receive the service. I used to be eyelash extensions, drama queen. Um, I was natural and short, but still, and I realized around my self love journey um, that the eyelash extension I was put it was more insecurity. So I'm not saying that if you put eyelash extension, it's gonna be because you're insecure. Not at all. You need to look at the intention. For most of the women, amazing women doing the eyelash extension, it's just an expansion of who they are, enhancement of beauty. But for me, there was kind of a I cannot like go out without eyelash extension, the addiction. So I just around my self love, I just around like switch it to lash lift, and I really like it. And I love to see my eyes and my little lashes um, flip. So I just have so much love. So I this is why I'm no longer in the eyelash extensions and microblading and all of that. I just focus on one thing because that's the one thing I love the most about this industry. So this is where I am doing a live here, which gonna follow the launch of we're starting a YouTube channel, which is Novoqueen Pro. Already exists, but it was in French. Now we're gonna make the content in English, and we're launching the podcast too. So that's gonna be fun. But I'm still gonna pop up here to have some subjects. So if you have some subject that you want to share, I'm be happy to look over it. And in my 10 years of lashes, I realized that the most time I'm growing, it's by exchanging. So I love that kind of vibe. And I know my Novo Queens students gonna be so happy because we are also so many things happen in Novo Queen worlds. Oh my God, 2024. So we are launching um, the club, and it's not there yet, but you can look at our Instagram, Novoqueen Pro, if you want to know when it's happening. So the club, it's gonna be about bringing a club together and just um, exchanging to go to the highest level, and it's gonna be offered to my students. And the reason why is just because I want to elevate the conversation. I don't want to go back explaining what I teach in the online training because there's like 8 hours of videos, like it's loaded, and I don't want to repeat. I want to go further. So this is how I'm stimulated, and just to exchange and learn more. So the club is coming. Yeah. So the learning I've got from that situation is what I've been saying a little bit around is how much like research is important, and to us always keep updated and always learn, because if you think lash lift is the same as 5 years or you done a training a long time ago, I'm just telling you, go learn, because the lash lift industry is getting higher and higher. Like my community is growing nonstop, and the clients is getting more known and everything. So I truly believe that lash lift um, is going to be a long term thing. And the reason why is that there's a lot of beauty things that are trends, and that's okay. They become popular and a little bit less popular. Can be like hair, but hair you can always change it. Can be like the brows, shape of the brows. There's some popularity, so sometimes it goes popular then less. But in history, the curls of lash lift, having curled black lashes, always been a thing. Always been a thing. Just different method. If it's not mascara, it's eyelash extensions. If not, it's the sticky band with eyelash that you can put over. And now there's lash lift. Lash lift was a perfect thing that you can go in the shower. You can put the cream that you want, and it's gonna look like a mascara lifted thing, and it's gonna give the little foundation to pop up your eyes. So I feel it's a great middle between eyelash extensions, which can also be natural, but it's just a different vibe. I just love to touch my lashes now. But they all have their people, and sometimes your clients change. So if you offer eyelash extensions, then you become lash lift clients. Then a lash lift clients can say, you know what, I want a little bit of whoop, and they put eyelash extensions. I feel in Montreal, in the city, I travel a lot. In the cities, I travel a lot. I'm starting to see more and more lash lift. Even in the TV, I start seeing lash lift. And I feel that there's that kind of natural movement has been going on. I don't know if you have felt that as well. People are trying to be more natural. For sure, it depends of where you're from. I'm not maybe not talking about Miami or LA, but if there's some lash tech that see that they're feeling that natural movement over there, yeah, perfect. So lash lift is going for the win. And other learning from the story is that what can I say is that what is important, I'm still in contact and I know she's gonna come back. What happened is that she got elsewhere and got a similar problem. So she kind of got scared, but I'm still in contact because it was beyond just the lash lift. It was beyond business. It was a relationship I'm building, you know? And I truly care about my people. I truly care about her. I truly care about my clients. I truly care about the lash lift industry. So, what I can say, if that kind of thing happened, please stay in contact, like ask, like, how is it going on? Be a support, like be there. Don't be okay, whatever, child. Like be there, be present. Like that kind of thing, you can sense it. Because what you're building, all of that's gonna reflect your reputation. And that's important, especially when those time arrives, when shit hit in the fans in so many way. Example, like always when it go down. So you have something happening to your salon and your staff, like pandemic that we just lived. A lot of business have popped out so well of that. Most of them, they keep showing up on social media. They keep showing up and then they like super big and everything. So keep showing up, keep being present, and learn from it. Learn from those moments. And this is what's gonna make a true difference in our industry come up. Any questions, my queen? Well, you can always comment, and I'm gonna go back after. The best way to reach us is the Instagram novoqueenpro.com. Instagram Novoqueen Pro. Website is with the .com. Or if you want to just kind of like keep the chatting and everything, there's also Marjorie Queen Mentor. This is like my personal, which is also like a business um, as well, but it's personal. It's my heart as a businesswoman that doesn't talk about business, it's about everything else. So that's really cool. So we can connect there. And if not, I'm gonna come back. next week, Tuesday, 10 a.m. And the subject that popped in my mind that I want to talk, it's more about finance, calculation, more about money. So that's gonna be that for next Tuesday, 10 a.m. Bye, my queen.